All right, let's figure something out together. A company gets attacked. Hackers are in. Alarms are somewhere. What actually happens next? Not the movie version with someone yelling, "We're being breached!" into a headset. The real version. Here's the trick I want you to hold on to for the next few minutes. Forget company and network and threat actor. Just picture your house. Somebody is trying to break in. Because it turns out, defending a network is almost exactly like defending a home. And once you see it that way, the whole thing stops being scary and starts making sense. There are 7 steps. Let's walk through them. Phase 1. Preparation. This is everything you do before anything bad happens. You install the locks. You put in an alarm. You keep a fire extinguisher under the sink, and you make sure everyone in the house knows the plan. Where to meet, who to call. In security, this is your firewalls, your backups, your monitoring tools, and a written playbook so nobody has to improvise at 3 a.m. Here's the important part. This is the phase people skip, and it's the one that decides how badly the other 6 go. You can't buy a smoke detector while the kitchen's already on fire. Phase 2. Detection. The alarm goes off. A window shatters. Something is wrong. In a company, this is the moment a security tool flags weird behavior. A login from another country at midnight, files being copied that shouldn't be, a computer talking to a server it's never talked to before. Detection is simply the moment you go from "everything's fine" to "wait, is someone in the house?" Phase 3. Analysis. Okay, the alarm is blaring, but is it a real burglar, or did the cat knock over a lamp again? This is where you actually look. How did they get in? Which door was unlocked? Which rooms have they been in? What did they touch? Security teams do exactly this. They investigate, confirm it's a genuine attack, and figure out how big it really is. Because you respond very differently to one open window than to someone already upstairs in your bedroom. Phase 4. Containment. You've confirmed it's real. Now, stop the bleeding. You don't chase the burglar through the whole house knocking over furniture. You shut the interior doors. You trap them in one room so they can't reach the rest of your stuff. In a network, that means isolating the infected computer, unplugging it, cutting it off, so the attacker can't spread. Containment isn't about winning yet. It's about making sure the problem stops getting bigger. Phase 5. Eradication. Now you get them out. You remove the intruder completely, and, this is the part people forget, you fix the broken window they climbed through. Because kicking the burglar out the front door is pointless if the back window is still wide open. Security teams delete the malware, close the vulnerability that was exploited, and make sure there's no hidden way back in. Phase 6. Recovery. Time to move back in. You replace what was stolen, clean up the mess, and turn the lights back on. Systems come back online, data gets restored from those backups you set up way back in Phase 1. See? It all connects. And business returns to normal. But you don't just relax. For a while, you keep one eye on the door, watching to make sure they don't come strolling back in. Phase 7. Lessons learned. The quiet one. And honestly, the most important. Once everything's calm, you sit down and ask, how did this actually happen? And how do we make sure it never happens again? Maybe you add a deadbolt. Maybe you train everyone to stop leaving the spare key under the mat. Companies do the same. They write up what went wrong, patch the gaps, and feed everything they learned straight back into Phase 1. Which means the cycle isn't a line, it's a loop. Every attack makes the next defense stronger. So, that's it. 7 phases. Prepare, detect, analyze, contain, eradicate, recover, and learn. And the big idea I want you to leave with? Incident response isn't magic, and it isn't luck. It's just a house, a plan, and people calm enough to work the steps in order. The panicking version is the movies. The winning version is boring, methodical, and rehearsed. Prepare, detect, analyze, contain, eradicate, recover, learn. Now you know what actually happens when a company gets attacked. If you made it to the end and you liked this content, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.